What up, y'all? It's DJ MV.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the Casey Crew.
Go ahead and tell them how appreciative you are for every damn thing.
Well, first I want to say that we are late, a day late on our podcast. That's just because we were on vacation and we just got back. Mm-hmm. So we had to get things together. So, instead of missing a week, we was just a day late so we can get ourselves together. It's been a crazy week.
It has been.
And shout to everybody on the island of St. Martin.
Yes, thank you, St. Martin.
We had such a wonderful, amazing time. We just got back from vacation. We were there for 6 days.
Yes.
And we had a wonderful time. St. Martin is a place that I've never necessarily thought of as a vacation spot. Mm-hmm. We've been there before on a cruise. The cruise ship stops there.
Right.
And a lot of times people stop in St. Martin when they fly to other destinations, whether it's Dominica, whether it's St. Bart's, whether it's Anguilla. They stopped there so many times. So I had a show in St. Martin and I decided instead of just doing a show and leaving, I said I would bring the family out there and make it a vacation.
Right.
So we went out there, 5 days earlier before the show? 4 days earlier before, 5 days earlier before the show. And we just wanted to experience the island, Shout to the tourism board who, when they heard we were coming, wanted to tell us everything that was going on the island, wanted us to really love the island, took us out to dinner and everything. So I just want to tell the people about
He's the Prime Minister of Tourism, correct?
Yes. I want to tell them about the vacation because, like I said, I've never thought of St. Martin as a destination for a vacation. It was just never on my mind.
I think it was never on your mind, but it is a known travel destination.
Oh, well, we had a wonderful time. We did so much there.
Yes.
We had a villa. Mm-hmm. The villa was on the beach, so it was an amazing time where the kids were in the pool, the kids were on the beach. I'm trying to think. The first day we started off with a bang. We went jet skiing and we did this thing called iFly.
It's not called iFly.
I think the name of it's called iFly.
That's called iFly too, because the indoor skydiving is called iFly.
But I think out there they call it iFly as well.
Don't quote yourself because you may be wrong.
I'm not 100% sure.
But you'll describe what it is and people can discern whether it's called iFly or not.
Well, what you do is you get into the ocean, of course, with the life vest, and they strap these boots to your feet, and these boots are connected to a tube, and the tube is connected to a jet ski.
Okay, so let me clarify it a little bit better.
Go ahead.
So it's kind of like the apparatus that you strap to your feet when you snowboard. So it's like two boots that are stationary on a skateboard, if you will. Mm-hmm. And then they strap your feet into that and they tighten it. And that board is connected to a tube, which is connected to a jet ski.
Right. Now, you control the power, meaning it's almost like, I'm trying to describe it. If you could imagine superpowers where your feet have fire going out of it. So you guide where the jet ski goes. So while you're laying face down into the ocean, the water is pushing out of the back of your boots. So you're basically guiding the jet ski. The bottom of your boots. So you're guiding the jet ski, right? So then it's almost like riding a snowboard or riding, what's some things called out there?
A hoverboard.
So once you put it under you, he gives it a little gas. And
once you put it under you in the water. So when you're in an upright position in the water, as though you're standing in the water, he gives it power.
Right. He gives it power. And then when he gives it power, you shoot up in the air.
Right.
So it's, he gives you a little bit of power and it depends on how well you can balance yourself. If you balance yourself well, you go higher and higher and higher.
So the longer you can keep yourself stationary, the higher you go.
Right. You need a good core because you got to balance. So you got to get your balance together.
You have to keep your legs straight.
You have to keep your legs straight and you can... you pretty much out the water. You can go up this high, I think like 20 feet or something like that.
Yes. So for people who haven't seen pictures or video of this, just imagine being in the ocean and basically shooting upright out of the ocean. So you're attached to this board in this tube, but it's as though you're vertically floating above the ocean. Right.
It got to the point where I was able to do tricks where I was...
Hold on, what?
I was doing tricks.
Well, then you were able to do tricks.
Remember when I dove up and then I dove into the water and I popped back up and then I dove in the water?
You didn't do that on purpose, dude.
I did. I swear.
You're giving yourself all kinds of
I
kudos
swear.
right now. Wait.
No, the
so
guy.
you didn't like fall into the water.
No. No.
You dove into the water.
The first couple of times I fell.
And then you went back up.
No, the guy told me to do it.
And that was your plan.
Yeah, no, I swear. Ask Madison. He said dive in the water and come back up. And that's why I kept doing it. My pants kept falling off.
Okay.
But if you want to see it, you can go to my Instagram and see it. It's at DJ Envy. If you go to Gear's Instagram, you won't see it.
Oh, okay. It's like, okay, no worries.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You explain what happened.
I'm gonna let you do you.
So I did mine. I did pretty good. Madison,
you did okay.
Madison did hers. Madison did great.
Madison did well.
Logan didn't do too well. And we thought Logan was going to do very well because
we actually thought that me and Logan were going to do the best.
Yeah, and then Logan did,
and we wound up doing the worst.
Logan didn't do too well. It was pretty nasty. And then Gia got on. Oh my goodness!
What was your expectation of me? Let's start out with that. What was your expectation?
You're pretty athletic, so
Hold on, pretty athletic?
Yeah, you're pretty athletic.
Hold on, don't play me. Pretty athletic?
You're pretty athletic.
Hold on.
On a scale,
you're really gonna look me in the eye and say pretty athletic?
On a scale from 1 to Serena, I would give you about a 5, 6.
Well, Serena is like an 82, so I'll take a 5 or 6 compared to her. But on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you give me as far as athleticism is
I'll give you about an 8.
Okay.
I'll give you about an 8.
Okay.
So that's pretty athletic. So I thought...
No, that's very athletic.
All right, pretty, very, whatever you want to say.
I'm taking this personally right now.
Okay.
Because I really feel like you're intimidated by my athleticism and you always want to downplay my capabilities.
Okay, whatever you want to say.
I intimidate you. Just say it.
Footage of me and you foot racing.
And I beat your ass.
2 years ago, you did not beat me, Gia.
Wait, what happened 2 years ago?
We raced out in Vegas.
When we raced in Vegas.
Who won?
It was a tie.
All right, I'm going to post the video. Don't say no more. Say no more.
It was like splitting hairs. I really don't even know who won.
I won.
You did not win.
I won hands down.
You did not.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to post the video.
You know why? I'm going to tell you. The kids might have cheered for you like you won, but that's because they pity you, because they look at you as the underdog compared to me.
Talk is cheap.
So they always hold you up.
I'll post the video.
Post the video.
Talk is cheap.
Just post the video.
So anyway, Gia, who is pretty athletic, gets on this thing. And first of all, she can't get her balance together.
It wasn't about balance.
You explain those. You explain it, and I'll tell the real story.
Listen, I'm here to say I sucked at it. I sucked at it. I was so utterly disappointed.
No, it was worse than sucked
in
at
myself.
It was worse than sucked at it.
I mean, what other adjective do you want me to use? Like, I sucked. I sucked at it.
You were fucking horrible. That's the adjective. It was really fucking funny.
It was funny?
What?
Well, I felt like I was dying. You were laughing. You were amused. I amused you.
Go ahead.
Is that what took place?
You had a life vest on, but go ahead.
You had a life vest on too.
But I didn't almost die. But go ahead. Explain what happened.
All right. First, let me give a little bit of background information. Okay.
When somebody says background, that means they're about to say some bullshit.
They need to understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, go ahead.
So, disclaimer, I cannot swim. I've never been able to swim. I've never learned how to swim. My swimming ability goes kind of like this. If you put me in our pool, for instance, I can swim from one end to the other.
Correct.
But if for some reason I had to stop in the middle, I would drown miserably. So I guess technically that means that I can't tread water. I cannot stay afloat.
Right.
However, I have no fear. I'm not scared of the water.
Okay.
I will do any water activity. I've gone jet skiing. I've gone parasailing. I've even scuba dove.
That is true.
That's
all correct.
Snorkeled. I've rode horses on the beach. I've done everything. I've water skied. I've tubed in the water. I've done everything because my rationale is as long as I have on a life vest, I can't drown.
Okay.
So no worries there.
Okay.
But what no worries gives me, it doesn't suffice for not being used to being in the ocean.
Okay.
Like I've never fallen off of a jet ski because I'm nice. So you've fallen off a jet ski. You fell off a jet ski with Logan.
Right.
Because you have no balance and you're not that athletic.
No, I try to do tricks.
Your balance kind of sucked. I did tricks too.
That's not true.
Hold on. I didn't do tricks?
I told you
I didn't do tricks?
I told you to do tricks and you didn't.
No. You told me to do a trick and it sounded a little janky. But then when I saw you do it a few times, I was like, oh.
But then I told you
you can guinea pig it out and then I'll do it. And then I did it and it was awesome.
But I told you to stand up doing a trick and you wouldn't stand up doing a trick.
I mean, I'm not out there trying to kill myself. He told me to go as fast as I could possibly go on the jet ski and then make a hard left or a hard right. At first I was like, yo, are you crazy? I mean, I'll go fast and do it. I'm not going to take it to the max. Then he claimed that he did it and then it worked. Is that how you fell off?
No, I've actually felt when Logan was driving and I tried to teach him how to do it and we all just...
You just fell off.
Flung off, yeah.
But then I did it and it was cool. Then he was like, stand up and do it. I'm like, oh, I guess you just don't value the mother of your 5 children. You're really trying to throw me into the jet ski, I guess, right? Like, why would you want me to do that?
Okay. Explain what happened when you put these boots on.
The point is, I'm not used to being in a compromising situation in ocean water, which is different than chlorined water, or even I felt it was different to me than salt water in the pool. It was a completely different experience. Anyway, this apparatus that's strapped to your feet is extremely heavy. Mm-hmm. In order to operate it and be successful, you have to be on your stomach in the water. Mm-hmm. And it kept forcing me onto my back. So to turn over, if you could imagine, it was like having a ton of bricks on your feet. So I would be able to turn my upper body over, but it was so difficult to get the bottom part turned over. So that was a challenge in and of itself. Uh-huh. But I think the reason why it was probably more challenging for me than it was for you guys is because when I first put it on, I kept getting hit with wave after wave after wave that kept dragging me back to shore, right or wrong.
Right.
So I don't know if it was coincidental when I got on, but it kept dragging me back to shore. And I kept trying to swim back out to the ocean where you needed to be so that you could go on with the activity.
Correct.
So I was exhausted. So trying to turn that thing over was so difficult. Finally, I got it, turned it over. He turned on the power. I went up into the air. My balance was phenomenal. I went high, I went high, I went high. I was feeling myself. But then when you finally lose your balance, which everybody will at a particular point in time, I don't know how to dive because I cannot swim. I've never dove into a body of water in my life. So instead of falling into the water in a dive position, which is proper, I freaking fell and face planted the ocean.
Belly flopped.
No. It was so much worse than a belly flop. I've seen people belly flop and recover.
All right.
I belly flopped and felt like I hit the concrete. It damn near knocked me unconscious. I was just laying in the water like I was dead. My poor son, who's the only person in this family that really loves me, was like, Mom, he almost dove into the water and swam out to come and rescue me.
He almost did.
At one point he did, which was later on, but he's the only one that loves you. You be all right. You were like, you be all right.
I said, you got a vest on. You ain't drowning. Don't worry about it.
You be all right. I literally saw birds swarming my head. I got an immediate headache. I almost started to feel sick. I was just like, I just can't even do this anymore, but I can't be a failure. I can't be a failure. Mm-hmm. So I kept putting up like the one sign, like, hold on, just hold on. Instructor, everybody just hold on. I need to get my bearings. Mm-hmm. Then I got my bearings and then I tried to turn the damn thing over. Couldn't happen. Then I got hit with a friggin' wave and the shit was just too much. I was getting hit with the wave. I couldn't turn over. My head was killing me. I swallowed that entire ocean. I'm surprised that there's any of the Caribbean Sea left because I feel like I took it all into my body. Took it all in, yeah. It was in my eyes. It was all in my nasal cavity. Like, it was so awful to me. And I was so surprised because Madison is like the house wussy.
Right.
And she was like, I loved it. I want to do it again. Like, we have to convince her to do everything because she's so safe and so protective of her body and her environment that she doesn't like to do anything that's going to put her at risk. She's the exact opposite of me.
Right.
And she did it. She rocked and everything, but she's also an excellent swimmer.
She is.
So she knows how to do everything. I'm the type of person I can't jump in, like I can't pencil jump into the water without holding my nose because I think all of the water will rush into my nose
right.
and knock me unconscious. Like, That was my experience. So yeah, I was pretty bad at it.
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
And I'm not going to do it again.
Well,
I don't even want to try it again.
We had fun. I enjoyed it. And for everybody out there, I know people are like, well, how much was it? Was it expensive? It wasn't expensive at all. Oh, it was about $30 a person or $40 a person.
It was $80 a person.
$80 included the jet ski.
Hold on. It was $80 a person to jet ski and
yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. Because typically jet skiing
is about, if you go to Miami, it's like $60, $75 a half an hour. But no.
Yes.
The whole thing was about $80.
Oh, you told me it was $80 a person. I thought it was just for that.
No, it was jet skiing
fantastic.
and that was for $80. Yeah. And the jet ski we rode for 45 minutes and that we did for 30. So that was that. The next day, we decided to zip line.
I think ziplining was day 3.
Okay, no, the next day we actually got a boat.
Oh, yes.
We got a boat and
we chartered a boat.
And now St. Martin has all these islands, or all these, they're not really islands. Are they islands?
They're islands.
They're islands that's connected to
body of land surrounded
that are surrounded.
Water on 360 degrees.
Right, yeah. So they're surrounding St. Martin, but they're different beautiful islands with beautiful beaches. So the boat took us to all these different destinations. We were able to jump in the water. We snorkeled. We scuba dove. We did everything that you possibly could imagine in the water, and it was cool because, just experience of just stopping and jumping in the water was just amazing. The
like
kids
you're just in the ocean. It's like you're free, and you can stop anywhere that you want. And jump out.
But it wasn't scary. Like, when we jumped out, it was like 8 feet deep in some areas. Some areas it was 10 feet deep. But
some areas we would get close to the island and there would be other boats that were like parked nearby, some like mini yachts and, things of that nature, all surrounding the island and people jumping off their private boats and just having a great time.
People were on jet skis. We actually jumped off one time in a boat and we had lunch at the place, and then we got back on the boat and went around.
So that was the island of Pinel.
Pinel, right.
And that's a very beautiful little island to visit if you ever visit St. Martin. It has a nice restaurant right on, the little mini coast. And the cool thing about the restaurant was we get there and we're all ordering. We look on the menu and there's lobster. So Sean and I are like, okay, yeah, we'll have a lobster. We'll have a whole lobster. And she took the order. And when she was done, she was like, all right, take a walk with me. And we're like, okay, for what? She's like, you're going to go pick your lobster. We're like, we're going to do what? He was like, yeah, you're gonna pick your lobster.
Right. So we go to the ocean. And
where they have like a little lobster farm.
Right. And she goes in there and picks the lobster size that you want. Now, the lobster we picked was damn near the size of me.
It was like the largest lobster I've ever seen in my life.
So that was pretty cool. We got to actually pick our lobster. It was fresh from the ocean. They
grilled it. It was a beautiful
lobster was
lunch.
Amazing. It was very well. It was
got
very,
back on the
good.
boat. Took off to the next island.
That's right. So we had fun that day. Just that was the first time that I've ever done that all day. Just been on a boat.
Yeah.
So it was, and the kids loved it. We played the music loud.
And our driver, he was so amazing. He was so nice.
They took us on a tour. We seen Donald Trump's home. Donald Trump has a home in St. Martin. Right. It's like a 12-bedroom home. He's selling it right now if you want to buy it. Anybody out there for $28 million.
Oh, is that what he's selling it for?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's selling it for $28 million.
Yeah, but it's right on the beach.
It's very nice.
Huge, beautiful home.
Right. And then the next day we went ziplining.
Yes.
Now,
you are a wuss. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, how athletic are you on a zip line? Let's talk about that.
I got through the course, so I was pretty athletic.
So what? Yeah, you got through with it. You got through it, but what?
Right. So let me explain.
No, I asked you a question. On a scale from 1 to 10, don't try to just skip over.
I'm
you
8.
were nobody's 8. You were the worst of the 4. You are probably a 4.
All right, well, let me explain to the people.
And if you lie, I promise you, we will pause this. I'm going to go upstairs and get Madison. And she can tell the world how sucky you were at that.
Now, let me explain it.
And how you're like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
No.
This isn't safe. This isn't safe.
It's definitely not safe. But let me explain it. So we decided to go ziplining. And I've never been ziplining before. Now, when it came to ziplining, Gia tells me about all her experiences about ziplining. She says, I went ziplining before. My 70-year-old mom went. She clicked on and you just slide.
She wasn't 70 at the time.
Well, how old was she?
65.
All right, my 65-year-old mom, zipline. It was so cool and so smooth. We had such an amazing time. I said, okay, bet. I can't wait to try it. So we get here and they have ziplining. They have 3 levels of ziplining, right? They have toddler.
It wasn't toddler. It was like Just above toddler. So you probably had to be like maybe 5.
Okay. Well, I would
5
say,
to like maybe 12.
I would say the lower level, then it was the medium level, and then there was extreme.
So the medium level, for extreme, you had to be 18 or over.
Right. But we thought we signed up for extreme. We thought we signed up for extreme.
Yes.
We was like, yeah, we signed up for extreme. And then we get over there, but it's like, well, you have 2 kids and they're not over 18, so you have to do this.
Right.
So we're like, all right, we
did the mid-level.
We'll do the mid-level course to just zip line and be so cute. I didn't know that it wasn't just zip lining. This was an obstacle course.
It's a zip lining obstacle course. And many of them across the country are zip lining obstacle course.
Right. I will never do it again. I'm not even joking. I'm not laughing. I'm like,
it was at a place called Lottery Farms.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a rainforest. They have a pool and beautiful cabanas. And then they have this zip lining obstacle course as an option for you to enjoy.
That shit was no joke.
It was no joke.
It's not like you just, you go up there and they drive you up and you zip line down. No, you got to climb up.
Well, first, let me explain the difference, because you didn't understand the difference. I went ziplining with my mother in Hawaii.
Right.
And it was over Mount Hakealea or something like that.
Right.
There was like a ziplining course over there. Or is it the Hakealea Canyon? Something like that. It was many years ago. Uh-huh. Anyway, you had an instructor. The instructor put your harness on and did all of the work for you.
Right.
So what they do is they put you in a harness, and then you have these cable clamps, if you will, these metal or steel cable clamps that attach to the cable onto which you're going to zip line.
Right.
But in Hawaii, he did everything for you. You zip line and he came right behind you, took you to the next zip line, attached you again, and all you had to do was enjoy.
Okay.
Here, not so much.
Now the guy, this is how we start. He goes, okay, climb up. And I'm like, all right, we all climb up. And I'm like, he goes, all right, click over, hold your hand and go. I'm like, click over, hold my hand and go. I'm
how?
Like, what do you mean?
What are we supposed to do?
You have 2 safety clamps. Put the 2 safety clamps on the wire. Put the other one on the wire. Don't hold on the wire. Hold on to the string. And with the right hand, hold the back of it. Make it like a okay sign. Okay sign. And then slide. I'm like, what the fuck?
We were all like, So yeah, we're about to lose our life because he doesn't have the patience to really explain to us. Like there was no like course. There was no like 20-minute course where you sit down and watch a video or
He's like go
a trial portion. And he was like, listen, the most important thing, make sure the clamps are clamped, because if not, your life depends on it. Go. We were like,
I'm like, what the fuck? And then I had to go first, right? So I was the one that went first.
I mean, you should. You're the man.
So, but I didn't know what I was
like
doing.
You resented it.
So I go and click on, and then the first one was a zip line, right? So I zip line, and I'm looking like, oh shit, there's a tree. How do I stop?
He didn't even tell us how to stop.
So I hit the first one. I hit the tree.
Boom! Yes.
So when I hit the tree, I'm like, fuck this shit. I ain't doing this no more.
Well, technically, you hit the platform. It's like a small, like, if you can imagine a tree house like in the cartoons, there would be like a little platform, like maybe 2 feet out around all the sides of the tree, like a wooden platform.
Right.
Like you hit that, and that's padded. So you hit the padded platform attached to the tree.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Then Madison was behind me. Then Madison comes. Then Logan came, and then you went right. Mm-hmm. And then now there's no more zip lining.
No, there was more ziplining, but not right away.
So then now
you had to go through some obstacles before you got to the next zip line.
Now you got to climb on a log. And a log, when I say this log looks like any given minute, this thing could break off and fall into the rainforest.
It looked like it was going to fall into the rainforest.
Yes, it did. It's mad shaky.
Because it's supposed to be shaky. So no, it was safe.
Yeah.
It's a log, and through the log, there are like holes that are bored through which cables go, and the cables are attached to other horizontal wires. So basically, you have to walk across this log holding the horizontal wires to kind of give you balance, but all the while, this log is shaking.
It's not standing still.
Swaying back and forth, but that's the obstacle. You have to keep your balance. In case you were to fall off of it, these safety cables would catch you.
Yeah, all right. So then you had to do that. Then still no more zip lining. Then they have you walk on a what's the thing? Just a rope, like a tightrope?
Yeah, like a tightrope.
Now it's a tightrope. So now there's a little ass rope, and now you have to walk on this tightrope.
It's very skinny
to get
cable.
to the other side, right? Now, I'm not in the circus.
But you're holding on to another wire for balance. But you know how you took an L on that? You were trying to put one foot straight in front of the other, one in front of the other. What? We were like looking at you like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you kind of have to put your feet horizontally so that you can get across quickly.
I didn't know. I was just trying to get over the shit. So
you were sweating bullets. You looked so afraid.
I was
thinking, like, if you fall, like, it's gonna catch you.
Yeah, there's no net. If I fall and the safety harness falls off, I'm falling right into the rainforest.
I mean, it's kind of like all wrapped up into your crotch. Like, it's not gonna fall off of you. It's a harness.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
So then we get there. Then we have to climb halfway up a tree, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, climbing up a tree, I'm no monkey. I'm sorry. I don't know how to climb a tree. Mm-hmm. So you got to pull yourself up. And I'm thinking to myself, this is hard. Like, this is not easy.
It was getting to a point where it was like, all right, enough of this obstacle course stuff. Like, we really just want to have fun. It kind of felt like a job. We were all sweating. It was so hot, but it was so many different steps that you had to go through, because these clamps that you have to clamp to protect yourself, you have to clamp it at all these different spots. So there are like these designated spots that are wrapped with red tape, and that's where you have to clamp it,
right,
to make sure that when you're walking around that tree or halfway climbing around that tree, under the cables, over the cables, that when you're doing all of that, your coordination doesn't go off and you fall off the tree. So you have to keep clamping and unclamping, clamping it, and you have two of them, and it just became tedious at one point.
Yeah, it was difficult. And I after this, like the second or third one, I was like, you know what?
You have to walk across a net. You had to walk across like all types of different things.
Yeah. So we did that. Mm-hmm. We did that.
I mean, did you have any enjoyment? The ziplining portion was
fun. The zipline was fun, but I didn't want to do no obstacle course.
Because with the zipline, not only do you have to put your clamps, but then there's that, I want to say pulley, but I don't really know if that's the right word. It's like this, it's another apparatus that it slides, it glides across the zip line. And when you do that, you go fast, and that's fun. Yeah, so we did that. And when that was finally over, we actually got At the very least, it was an experience.
We got the chance to just chill in the, what was it after that? The cabana. We chilled in the cabana right after that. So it was an experience, and it was a great time. Did you enjoy it?
It was okay, but I appreciated the experience. I like to have things under my belt just so I can feel like, okay, that's something that I did.
But you did it already.
I didn't, the obstacle course that we did, it wasn't like that. It was like zip line to zip line to zip line. Mm-hmm. And it might have been a few little technical things, but it was nothing like that. Like, that annoyed me.
Would you do it again?
Bit. I wouldn't do that again. I would check out, because I just assumed that it was going to be like the one in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. So I would check out another ziplining experience thoroughly to make sure it's exactly what I expect it to be before I did it.
Right. Okay.
But then we spent the rest of the day in the pool, in the cabana. We ate, and the kids swam, and there was a pretty waterfall, and it was a very nice place. I would still recommend Lottery Farms.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We had a great time. So that was kind of like the gist of, we did a lot of pooling, a lot of relaxing, a lot of beaching. And did I miss anything else that was?
A lot of eating.
A lot of eating. Did I miss anything else big that we did? I can't think.
No, it was the boat. We spent 2 days jet skiing. Yeah,
right.
The last day we jet skied again. No, I think that was pretty much it.
What I want to talk about too, well, on the way back, before I go there, on the way back when I tried to get home, there was a bomb scare.
Oh, yeah.
In the airport.
Well, he had to fly to Puerto Rico.
He had to
leave us a day early because he had to do a show in San Juan. And then after that, he had to fly back into New York and then drive to Boston because he had a show in Boston.
Yeah, there was a bomb scare at the airport. And when I said they shut that shit down, they shut that shit down. Airport was stuck. Nobody was going out. It was not, I've never seen an airport shut down like it was. Like, people were stuck. Like, people talk about, well, I'm just going to sleep here in this airport. But we did make it out. And I just want to say again to the people of St. Martin, we had a great, wonderful time. You guys showed us so much love. We did a club tantra. We had a good time at the club. I played some reggae tunes for my wife. She was happy. So we just had a absolute positively good time. So then at the cabana, I got into a little incident.
A little incident?
It was a little incident. I thought it would be funny there was a bucket of cold water, and I figured I would throw it on Logan. I thought it'd be funny.
Water.
It was ice cold water.
Well, it was ice and water.
Right.
It was ice water.
So I figured it'd be funny if I threw it on him, which I did. But then the bucket slipped out my hand and it hit him.
Uh-huh.
And, when it hit him, it was an accident. Everybody knew it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
But Logan, at that time, wanted to overreact.
Oh, so he couldn't have just genuinely been hurt.
I mean, he probably was hurt.
By a bucket being thrown at him.
Right, but he overreacted. You hit me, screaming.
Okay, he wasn't screaming.
What do you call it?
I mean, his voice was raised. He wasn't screaming. I just don't want you to paint an accurate picture.
At the pool was looking. He made a scene.
He might have made a little bit of a scene.
Come on now. That's your son. I know you love him to death. I know he's your favorite.
Yeah, but he just got a bucket thrown at him.
It didn't hit him.
And I'm sure that it hurt him.
It hit his leg. He was okay.
Oh, so if it hit his arm, then you would understand why he would have screamed. If it hit any part of his body with that kind of force.
It wasn't that bad. Because I didn't.
Because you felt it.
No, I didn't directly.
Because you know what it feels like to get a bucket of ice water thrown at you.
No, I didn't directly.
So you can measure his pain, his shock, and.
No.
Wait.
I didn't directly throw it at him. I threw the ice and the bucket didn't go full speed because it slipped out my hand. So it wasn't like a full out throw. It was like a...
Dude, can we just agree that you cannot measure the amount of pain that he might have felt?
It wasn't that much bad. It wasn't that bad. And the boy plays football. He gets hit way harder than that.
I remember that being your rationale.
I was like, he gets hit. It wasn't...
You don't know if it was the edge of the bucket, the sharp part of the bucket. It hit his leg. It could have hit his shin. If you trip going up the stairs and hit your shin on the stairs, I mean, you kind of feel like you want to pass out. Like, that's a lot of pain.
It was.
And your rationale was, he plays football, he's tough, he gets hit harder than that. You sound all the way crazy.
He was just making a scene and I was upset because he didn't have to be like, you hit me.
Okay, like, you're exaggerating.
He was.
I'm just going to let you live because I don't want to go back and forth about that.
He was.
But he made a little bit of a scene.
So me and him
but
got
I believe he was hurt.
And I calmed his ass down, told him to be quiet, that he was creating a scene.
That's your version of events?
What happened?
So he gets upset. You go over to him like, for real, this is what you're going to do? This is what you're going to do?
Right.
You know it's an accident. Stop crying. And then you walk back up the stairs and into the cabana. Do you think that was the right way to handle it? Honestly, in hindsight, do you think that was the right way to handle it?
No, it wasn't the right way to handle it.
This is going to be the argument of the week.
Okay.
Because we got into an argument.
Right.
This is how you handle it. And this is, I don't know if it was the last podcast or the one before that, but when I talk about people and raising children and letting pride get in the way, you let pride and your masculinity get in the way of your parenting.
I did, because he was screaming like a little girl. You hit me. I know I hit you. I ain't doing it on purpose. We all know
but do you hear the tone of your voice? Yeah, I hit you, but I ain't do it on purpose. Who speaks like that when they're in the wrong? You have no right to ascertain that tone when you are in the wrong.
Man, he has to man up a little bit. It wasn't on purpose.
It's not about him manning up.
Did you see me do it?
No, I didn't see it happen. I just heard about it.
Now, my manager was there.
Because Madison, who will throw Logan under a bus in a minute, was upset with you.
Because he was crying. Because Logan was crying. And Madison was mad.
Madison will take any opportunity to get him in trouble. And even she was like, come on, Dad, you're making him cry.
Let's be honest. She was mad because Logan was supposed to take a picture for her. And since I injured Logan, he wasn't going to take the picture for her
That's not
anymore.
the reason why.
That's why she was mad.
You're really
crying,
grasping at straws. That is not the reason why. She felt bad because she could tell that he was hurt. And you didn't tend to his needs. You didn't come over and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I was just trying to play with you and it slipped out of my hand. I didn't mean to hurt you. Are you okay? You need anything? That would have been the right way to handle it. You came over, what you crying for? Come on, you know I ain't do it on purpose. You gonna act like that? And then you walk away? When you're in the wrong?
He was screaming.
When you're in the wrong?
He was making a scene.
So then you left him. So then I walked over to him. And I was like, boo, you know Daddy didn't mean it. I mean, I tried to...
And what did he say?
I tried... Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I tried to support you a little bit, but you you made it almost impossible for me to support you. You know, he was like, yes, he did. And he only said that because he was angry. And he went on to say, well, it's not even about the fact that he slipped. Like, he yelled at me afterwards. Like, he hurt me, and then he yelled at me for hurting me. Like, what sense does that make? And that's why he was so angry. And I think that was the reason for his tears. His tears weren't because of his shin. Mm-hmm. I think initially they were, but then I think after that, it was angry tears. And do you know how it feels to be in the position of inferiority where you're a child or you're the weaker in a situation and you can't do anything about it? You can't speak up for yourself. You can't go and snuff your dad. You just have to sit there and take it. And you know that the person is wrong and you have no choice but to sit there and take it. That's how he felt. So I had to, but then I was trying to explain to him your point of view, that I thought that you were wrong, but give daddy a chance to calm down. I'll see to it that he comes and apologizes. But he was just so angry that I had to walk away. I had to leave him with, the support that I gave him. And then I had to walk away. So then I go into the cabana and I'm asking you repeatedly to go down there and apologize to him. Right. And you were just so dismissing. Like, I'm not apologizing to him. He doesn't deserve an apology. You see the scene that he just made? And I tried to talk sense into you, and you were repelling all the sense that I was trying to throw your way.
I was.
And that's a pride thing. And you really need to work on that. Long story short, I called Logan up back into the cabana, and I was like, Boo Boo, come. And I babied him. He loves when I baby him. Mm-hmm. But I did that just to get him to smile. So I made little jokes and stuff, little antidotes that I have that make him laugh and smile. And he was just like, I love you, mommy. And I was like, all right, go down there. I'm gonna get daddy to come apologize to you. So that eventually, I was able to coax you into delivering an apology, but it took too much time.
I was wrong. I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't like the fact that he was creating a scene. He was admit he was creating a scene.
It was somewhat of a scene, but he wasn't creating a scene for the sake of creating a scene. He was hurt. And I mean, imagine how you feel when someone shocks you with something, whether they meant to do it intentionally or not. First, he gets hit with the ice cold water, followed by a freaking plastic bucket hurling at him that hit him in the shin. How would you react? How do you expect a person to react? People don't react perfectly when they're in a compromising situation, especially one where you get hurt. He was hurt. So you have to give somebody a little bit of grace when they're in that type of situation. And you should have handled it correctly from the get-go. You didn't.
You know what? I was wrong.
Why? Why? Tell me why.
I was wrong. And if he would have just if it would have got hit and he would have been upset and cried, I would have said, you know what, I apologize, and I would have gave him a hug and be like, my bad. But when he started screaming,
he wasn't screaming. Screaming sounds crazy, that's extra.
He was creating a scene out in front of everybody. You hit me. You hit me. I know I hit you. I did Sean. It, motherfucker. I know. Sean. I saw what else. I was like, I didn't do it on purpose. You hit. He kept going, and it was.
I don't even know if you said I didn't do it on purpose. Yes, I think you just added that.
No, I did, and he was.
No,
loud.
you got mad,
and then it was like.
No, you got mad. You didn't say I didn't do it on purpose.
Yes, it does.
It was like I ain't do that shit on purpose. You that's not true. You fudged a little bit. You just fudged.
He started making a scene and making the scene louder and louder, and it's almost like he wanted an audience. That's what he did, because there was no reason to do that. Even if he was mad and he wanted to cry and run him in his mommy's hands, he could have did that. But he was creating a scene. And once you started creating a scene, it's no longer, oh, my bad, I hit you. Now you're creating a scene and you're trying to embarrass me as your father. So now, sit your little ass down. You want to cry? Cry. You got hit in football? Shut up. That's how I looked at it. I'm not going to say I was right, but that's how I looked at it. Yeah, I hit you. All right, I apologize. It wasn't on purpose. I didn't mean to hit you with the bucket, but I hit you with the bucket. But then when you started with the, you hit me. I know I hit you. I did it. You hit me.
I can only laugh about it because you wound up apologizing and humbling yourself. But at the time, I was not very proud of you.
So I was like, come on,
and
man.
You know better.
Yeah, I was wrong, and I apologize for it.
And I got you to apologize in a sweet way that kind of broke his anger.
I gave him a kiss, gave him a hug.
And he was fine.
And he was good. Yeah, I was wrong. So for that argument of the week, I backed down and I was wrong, and I apologize to the young man for that.
As he deserved.
Now, you know what? I want to thank you for that vacation.
Why?
Because the fact that all I have to do to go on vacation is just grab my stuff and go is amazing.
What do you mean grab your stuff and go?
I didn't have to pack any bags. I didn't have to pack underwear.
Yeah, I threatened you that you were going to have to pack your dinner clothes, but
I didn't pack anything.
I wound up packing it for
I didn't have to do anything. So all I had to do was just, it was amazing. All I had to do was just go. When I got there, every morning my clothes was laid out on the bed. I just knew what I was wearing. It was just really, really amazing. Like, it was dope. I didn't have to do shit. And that was the best thing about it. I didn't have to do nothing. All I had to do was just wake up and go. That was the best thing about it. You planned everything, the pictures, the food. All I had to do was just chill, eat shit, and sleep.
Awesome.
That was it. The only thing I did not like about the trip, and I'll be honest,
what?
Is we didn't have enough sex. And and you know why? Because
it was fine. Like, what are you talking about?
Because every morning we woke up at what time? 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock we woke up every morning, and we didn't get back to the room until about 11 p.m. So we were beat.
We were beat.
I couldn't ram you out.
Like being out there in the sun and the water and me face planting and being exhausted and the babies and
every night I went into the club. I went out to experience the clubs.
Yeah.
So we were tired.
This is the first time that you were like, okay, babe, come out with me. And I was like, you know what? You go ahead.
Well, you went out one night. You went out.
I went out the night that you DJed.
One night I
wanted to see that. But
yeah, it was tiring, and I didn't want to go out those other nights. But the promoters and DJs were having other events, so I wanted to go support.
Yeah.
But this was like, we didn't have enough sex.
What's not enough sex?
We were on an island on our own private beach. We should have been doing all types of things. We should have been writing the Casey crew with our private parts. We should have got sand in our asses.
Stupid.
Like, instead of getting sand in my ass, I got a mosquito bite on my ass. Like, we should have been doing all types of crazy things. But we were I was tired. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I just got over being tired today.
Yeah. We did a lot. It was a very active vacation. And the way I like to vacation is, some people like to just relax and lay on a beach, and I like to have fun.
Right.
I like to do things. I like to wake up, get out early, eat, have an activity, do another activity.
Right.
I really want to experience the place that we're visiting. So our vacations aren't usually very relaxing. They're usually more tiring. And it's like you need a vacation after the vacation.
Absolutely.
So we were both very, very tired. But I still think we had enough intimate time.
We did.
I was happy.
I wanted some more, but that's all right. We'll make it up. We'll make it up for this week.
But to be honest with you, that is... that's why a lot of people go on vacation just as a couple and they leave their kids behind. But I don't like to do that. And I'm gonna tell you why. For our 1 year anniversary, tell me if you remember this. We went on a cruise of the Mediterranean.
I remember.
And we were young. Madison was still a baby. And we were just like a young couple, and we're like just happy to be in Europe.
Right.
And there was an older couple, probably like in their 50s or something like that. Good looking couple, and they had 2 good looking kids, and their kids looked like they're probably like 19 or 20.
Right.
And we saw them every morning at breakfast, and one day they made conversation with us, and we told them that, we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary, you made a baby at home and everything. And they told us that a couple of times a year they travel as a family, the 4 of them, and they do it every single year, and their goal is to show their kids the whole world.
I remember.
And they were so well put together, intelligent people, well traveled, and I remember admiring them.
Right.
And I remember asking them questions like, okay, so on my list of places that I'll travel through my life, where do I have to go? What's the most beautiful place in the world? What's the most interesting place in the world? Like, give me 3 places that I need to go.
Right.
And they said, I remember the first 2. They said Bora Bora,
okay,
Tahiti, and they said, I remember all three. Then they said Russia is interesting.
Okay.
And they said one of their favorite places is Greece.
Okay.
And they said, if you go to Asia, like if you go to Japan or Singapore or something like that, it's very enchanting and it can be very cultural and educational, things of that nature.
Gotcha.
So those places ever since then have always been on my bucket list. But I'm mentioning that because that really left something with me. It's funny. It's like you can meet people in your life that can say one thing to you and it can leave an everlasting impression that stays with you, and that, you make choices in your life based on that impression that was made. And because of that, I believe that because of that, I feel that when I travel, I want my children with me because I want to be able to show them the world.
Okay.
So, sometimes you'll say, all right, maybe for our anniversary, we should just go here, just the two of us. And my feeling is like, I can't leave my babies behind.
Gotcha.
I want to bring them with me. If I'm going to see it, I want them to be able to see it.
Well, let me ask you a question now that you said that. I agree. I think that's wonderful. I mean, I know we got to dip in a second, but with that being said, where's one place that you haven't been that you want to experience?
Well, we're going there.
Where's that? Bora Bora?
Yeah. Because that was their number one place. So, all right, well, we'll talk about it. For Madison's 16th birthday, we were planning on throwing her a party.
A Sweet 16, which I wanted to do.
Yes, what you wanted to do. You were all into the party and what we were going to do.
The reason being is I feel like, I grew up watching Sweet 16 on MTV.
Super Sweet 16.
And I grew up with, them getting artists and big popular DJs and having big gifts. And I'm at a point in my life where I can call in a couple of favors.
Right. And MTV actually reached out to us.
Right.
For us to have Madison on the show for her Sweet 16.
And I was excited about it.
And you were very excited. Oh, we could have this person, we can have that person,
I have
we
so
can
many
do
friends.
this. You had a lot of ideas.
So I was like, this is going to be amazing,
Right.
And I think Madison said one of the smartest things that I think a 16-year-old, I should say a 15-year-old would say. She was like, I don't want to have a Sweet 16. And I was like...
Background on Madison before you say that, she's a very low-key type of girl.
Right.
She doesn't want to be the center of attention.
Right.
She's not the type of person that wants all eyes on her. She doesn't like to make a spectacle of herself.
Right.
She said, Mom, I can't even imagine like lighting 16 candles in front of a room full of people and having this whole period of time that's just dedicated to me, thanking specific people. She said, it's not me.
Right. So she said, instead of having a Sweet 16 party where I'm inviting people who I probably won't even speak to or even know in the next 4 years.
She was like, what else can I do?
Right.
And I said to her, if you don't want to have a Sweet 16 party, you can pick anywhere on the planet and we will take you there.
Right. So she had 3 places that she thought about. One was it Iceland?
Iceland.
One was Iceland.
We actually talked about it weeks ago. Go ahead.
The other was Greece. Hawaii and Bora Bora. Those are the 4 places that she mentioned.
Right. And I think that she only wanted to go to Bora Bora because she's heard me mention that I would like to go there at some point in our lives.
Right.
So we did a lot of research. We really thought that it was going to be Iceland because they have a lot of spectacular things.
Right.
The reason, and for what I tried to advise her was pick a place that you will have no reason to go to ever again in your life.
Right.
This is a special thing. Don't choose Hawaii. It's very likely that maybe when you graduate from high school, you graduate from college, or for your honeymoon, or something like that, you might go to Hawaii.
Correct.
Choose a place that's unique and extraordinary that will be an experience that you'll be able to look back on and say, wow, that's what I did for my 16th birthday.
Right.
For that experience, I didn't have a party, and Bora Bora is beautiful, but Iceland, I thought might have been a little bit more extraordinary.
Correct.
But she doesn't like the cold.
Yeah. Right.
And you can pretty much tap out what Iceland has to offer, like the spectacular things, in maybe 3 or 4 days. And we're planning on taking her away for about maybe 10, 11, 12 days. So then you would have no choice but to go to Ireland or Scotland, which
Right.
is far less spectacular.
Gotcha.
So we wound up choosing Bora Bora, and we booked the trip, and it's all taking, like, we're done.
Right.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Now, I was, after thinking about it, I was pretty excited about it, and, and kind of flattered that she would rather spend time with her mom, dad, and brother and her brothers, opposed to, doing a Sweet 16. Because her whole thing was, when I'm 21, I might not even know none of these people. So why spend all this money on people I don't know? So I'd rather spend this experience with my family and always remember it. So that's what we're going to do for her Sweet 16. And I pray that, all our other girls are the same way. I think that's a dope way to go out. But if they want to have a Sweet 16, they can as well. I mean, whatever they want to do, it's their decision.
It's their decision.
Their decision.
She'll be able to celebrate for 12 days, 2 weeks, whatever it was that we booked, as opposed to 4 hours.
Right.
So I think that was the right way to go for her.
Now Logan, on the other hand, he probably just wants to do, like, he's the type to be like, I just want to go to every Giants game, and every playoff game, and then the Super Bowl.
No,
and that's my 16.
No, he has to have some kind of solitary thing that represents his Sweet 16.
Boy. Okay.
So it can either be a party. Well, not his Sweet 16, because boys don't have Sweet 16s, but to represent his 16th birthday. So he'll probably want to go on a trip as well. I think that would be nice for him.
Well, whatever they want to do, But I just wanted to say thank you again for an amazing vacation. You put everything together. All I had to do was go. You took the stress off of me. I didn't have to figure shit out. I didn't have to figure nothing out. I didn't have to worry about what I was wearing. I didn't have to get the kids dressed. I didn't have to do shit but enjoy myself. And those are the best type of vacations.
I mean, that's what you deserve.
That's
you
stress.
work hard. You shouldn't have to go on vacation and then work double.
Right. Well, I appreciate you for that. If I didn't say thank you, thank you. All right. Well, it's time to get up out of here, baby.
No email of the week?
We don't really have time.
What do you mean we don't have time?
We're already close to our time, our limit. What you want to do?
This is what happens when I let you produce the show.
Well, you the one that just went from talking, well, this is going to be the argument of the week today, and this is what we're going to do.
Well, it was an argument that we legitimately had,
right,
so it fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just going to skip over the email of the week?
Yeah, we'll do it next week. Next week, because a lot of people have been asking for emails for next week. What we can do is we can do all emails.
I mean, if you make it up that way, then that's cool.
All right. So next week,
I'm with it.
If you have a question or you need some advice, you can email us thekcrew@gmail.com. That's TheeKCCrew@gmail.com. You hit us up with your emails, and we're gonna pick a bunch of them for next week. Maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 of them.
No, that's not true. 7, 8, 9, 10.
Didn't we do 7, 8, 9, 10 last time?
I don't think so. You just talk.
I do. That's what I do.
Talk.
I do it for a living.
Wait, 7, 8. Yeah, it definitely wasn't like 7, 8, 9, or 10. It might have been 4 or 5. 5 tops. I don't really remember, but I'm sure it was 5 tops.
Okay, well, email us and we'll get you.
I just don't want you to be misleading people.
Right,
you know
I don't know how many.
Okay.
Well, email us and we'll definitely get your emails on. Again, it's thekcrew@gmail.com. And again, we appreciate all the love. You guys hitting us on DMs. You guys hitting us on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, however else you hit us, Spotify, iTunes. We appreciate and love all the love. Thank you so much. All right. And also don't forget, you can always hit up the website, thekcrew.com. We have all types of cool stuff, wine glasses, socks, hats, t-shirts, the damn gear t-shirts. You can get your own and customize and put your girl's name or your husband's name or your boyfriend's name. It doesn't matter. You can do that as well. All right. Now, next week we'll do the emails and we'll talk to you about, I want to tell them about the party we're planning.
Oh, okay.
All right. Our 2-year-old and 3-year-old are having a party, a birthday party.
They're turning 3 and 4.
And Gia is planning this party. And
they're almost Irish twins. One was born on June 3rd and the other was born on June 5th. They're a year and 2 days apart. So they miss it by 2 days, but they're having a party.
Right.
Next month.
And Gia's the type of person.
It's going to be so much fun.
She starts off small, like it's going to be a little small shindig.
I never said it was going to be a little small shindig. Stop exaggerating things.
Well, explaining last week, I just want to tell you, it started off as a little pool party.
It did not start as a little pool party.
It was supposed to be just pool party.
Because that's what you wanted to hear.
That's what you said.
That's what
we
you
gonna
wanted
have a
to
pool
hear.
party for the
It's
babies.
not true.
Well, now it's a whole carnival theme / pool party / skydiving.
There's no skydiving.
Bumper cars.
There's no bumper cars.
NASCAR.
There's none
basketball
of that.
/ lacrosse, football,
No,
and everything
there's
else
none
I
of
can
that.
think
Don't
of.
listen to
We'll be
him.
playing cricket.
That's not
We'll be
true.
doing bowling.
Be bowling in the grass.
We'll be bowling in the grass. All types of shit.
There's a lot of other cool things, but none of which that you mentioned.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we'll explain it last week. You guys have a great week. Thank you for riding for us. We appreciate it so much. And I am DJ Envy.
I am Gia Casey. Thanks for coming over.
Toodaloos.
That's not how it goes.
How's it go?
Toodles.
Oh, last question before we leave.
You got another question after we just closed out?
Yeah, but just one other question. Are you ovulating?
Goodbye, people.